Go. Hi, everyone. How are you? My name is Jessica. I'm the social media and community manager here at University of the People. And it's a pleasure to be here today with one of our course instructors. Her name is Dr. Semenova. Did I say your name right? Semenova. Dr.
Lovely to be with you. Hi, Jessica.
I'm so sorry. My dog wants to be part of the live event.
That is wonderful. We love dogs.
Okay, so Dr. Semenova. Dr. Semenova, is that how you like to be called?
Yes, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, Dr. Semenova. So we'll get into a proper introduction. I just want to give everyone a few minutes to sign on, and so we'll take it from there. So okay, great. So a little bit about University of the People. For those of you who don't know, we are 100% online. So you can study anywhere, anytime. All you need is an internet connection, which is great in the times of COVID, I must say. And we are also, so it gives you a lot of flexibility to study at any time. Like I said, we are tuition free, not free, but tuition free, meaning we do not collect an annual tuition. We just collect small minimal fees to keep us up and running. And we have a very strong academic leadership team from universities all around the world. So we're very proud of our academic leadership team. And we have we currently have 44,000 students from over 200 countries and territories. So if English isn't your first language, not to worry, we do offer an English composition course to catch you up to speed. So no problem. So don't let any of those barriers be a reason not to come study with us. I did include a description, in the description of this event, I did include a link to our application page. If you have any questions, I encourage you can leave a comment, you can reach out to admissions@uopeople.edu. You can email your advisor. You can always DM us. So there's so many ways to reach us. And I just want to say again to all our viewers, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. If we don't respond during the event, we will review and respond after. But we do see all the comments and we read them very carefully, so not to worry. Okay, with that being said, I'm going to stop talking so much because the viewers are not here for me. They're here for you. Okay, so without further ado, again, this is Dr. Semenova, and I'm going to turn it over to you. So first of all, can you please tell us about yourself?
Sure, Jessica, thank you so much for this interesting introduction and introducing the university, because the university is in the spotlight here. And I'm so happy to be part of the team that is making all of this possible for the students. I'm really proud to be a part of the University of the People and to be teaching here. Well, a little bit about myself. I've been in psychology for many years, and I have once also been an online student at a different university. So I've done my master's in psychology and then my PhD in psychology at Walden University years ago. And so because of that, I really have a passion for online learning, and I understand students who study online very well. I know how difficult it is, how much discipline you need to have, how much time you need to devote to your assignments weekly and the discussion posts and all the activities that we're doing. So I understand all the difficulties, but at the same time, I am an example of someone who has well, psychology was my second degree, my second education. My primary education was in legal studies back in the days. And then I have a background in corporate management, and I've come to study psychology in my 30s. So this was a very conscious choice. But because I studied as an adult, I understand that people coming to our universities, they are also of different ages. And for many of them, this is a second education, or, they're trying to change the path of their life and trying to acquire a new profession that will help them build their life better. And so I understand our students, and I really have so much sympathy for them, because I know what it takes to be an online student, and I now look at it from a different perspective of being a teacher and instructor, and so I understand them very well.
Okay. Oh, and maybe you can share with our viewers what you actually do teach at University of the People.
I've been teaching 2 courses at the university. The first one is Introduction to Psychology, and now I teach Health Psychology, which is available to health sciences students. And Health Psychology is actually my specialization in my PhD. So I'm very passionate about this, because I love health psychology. It's a subject which allows us to understand the interaction between our thoughts and our behavior, and how that affects our health, and also how our cognition, how what we think affects our health-seeking behavior, and what interaction exists between stress and our health, and how we look at chronic illness, and how we perceive pain, and what we can do to improve our quality of life. So health psychology is a very wide subject, and I love the curriculum that we have at the University of the People, because it allows us to cover a lot of areas of health psychology in one course, and to give students a real good overview and understanding of what this discipline is. And I am so proud of the students that we have joining this course, because they gain so much. They get so much knowledge from this course. I'm really happy and proud to see them grow.
Wow, that's so beautiful. So, first of all, this course sounds really interesting. I want to sign up, although I'm not a student. But just out of curiosity, are these courses that fall just under health science degree, the health science degree, or do either of them fall under like the foundations course?
The first one, the Introduction to Psychology, I think it falls under foundation, but the health psychology one, I think it is available to students in other degrees. They can choose it, but of course, those going for health sciences they probably have to take it for their degree requirements.
Okay, very nice. Sounds really interesting. And where else do you teach?
I have my own Academy of Psychology, which started working this year. And within this academy, I run several courses, and they are targeted at people who want to improve their stress management skills, who want to take care of their lifestyle choices, to be better aware of their nutrition and of their sleep requirements, and in general, those issues which affect health, and how psychology can help them improve their quality of life. So I'm very proud of this project, and of course it takes a lot of my time. I did teach at other online universities, but right now my teaching at university is focused on University of the People. Perhaps I'll be teaching at another university next year as well, but for the time being, it's the University of the People.
Okay, well, we really appreciate all you do for the university. Maybe you can talk about what makes UoPeople students unique.
This is a very good question, Jessica, and I think that there are certain things that really make your people students unique. Well, first of all, I have to say our students are very appreciative. They display a lot of gratitude for the education they receive and for the opportunity to be studying with this university, because many of them come from underprivileged environments, and many of them perhaps had difficulties in finding the university which would be affordable and which would provide so many opportunities to them in terms of the variety of degrees and the varieties of subjects that they can learn, and also the support for learning English and for developing their writing skills and for developing all of their academic skills. And so I see in the classroom that people are really appreciative of what we are providing. And they also are very grateful to receive feedback. They are very conscious of the learning difficulties or learning paths that they are taking. And I'm seeing so much progress in them, even in people who start the course with being, a little bit less proficient in their writing skills or academic knowledge. If you guide them and if you provide them with resources to help them grow, they appreciate it and they actually take the time to study. And this makes me appreciate my role in the classroom as well, because I see that that the change is actually happening. So it's a group of very responsive students, of very disciplined students, and it makes it a joy to be in the classroom, to speak to them, to see how they develop. The other thing that is very distinct is that there are students from so many different countries. Last term in my classrooms, I've had students from all of the continents. So North America, South America, Australia, Africa, Europe, Asian countries. We had students from every part of the world. And when you go into a discussion forum and when there is a weekly topic that you're discussing and you get perspective from students from all different countries in the world, and each one of them shares his own experience and his own, understanding and perception of the situation, it becomes a truly educational experience to be reading so much and to be hearing so much from different people. I have to say, I learn as much as I teach, because where else would I be able to find out what are the health beliefs in all these different countries? There is, we live and learn. So it is a wonderful experience.
I love that so much. That you kind of covered my next question, but I'm going to ask it anyways, and I'm sorry if it's repetitive. But what is it like to teach 30 students in one class who are from so many different countries? Because I think 30 is about the number of students you probably have. And so what's that like? I mean, you kind of touched on it, but maybe we can reiterate a bit.
Well, yes, usually we have about 35 students in a classroom, and that's a lot. And sometimes in the beginning of the class, what I do is I take really a lot of time to go through the course introductions and to encourage everyone to write a little, a little introduction to say where they're from, what their background is, what are they studying for, what's their life situation. That helps students to meet each other, to understand who's in the classroom, and that also helps me to have a little bit more knowledge about who are these students in the classroom. And then every week, as we go on in our discussion forums, and in different assignments that the students complete, you really get a complete picture of the person who is in the classroom. Oh, I'm sorry, something with the light here. So you start putting the picture of the student together with his let's say presentation of himself and his knowledge. And very often, you know, what I notice, which I love, is that I can recognize the student from their writing. So when I get an assignment, and some of the assignments are also there are no names on them for peer review process, so students can grade each other's work. Then the name is hidden, but I know who's written it, because I make an effort to get to know the students, each one of them individually, really well. It helps put a face to the paper. And as I said, with students from all kinds of countries, there is so much cultural difference and experience of different backgrounds, and that makes the classroom very interesting, because of course we come from different environments and different backgrounds, but there is so much that we have in common. There are so many issues which we see as the same issues, as the same problems, as things that we need to make an effort and improve around the world. And so the University of the People is a global institution, and I believe it will make a global change. So that's why I'm really happy to be a part of it.
Wow, very well said. You started talking a little bit about your students' writing. I just want to expand on that a bit. UoPeople uses the peer-to-peer learning method. Maybe you could briefly tell our viewers what that is and, how it works.
Sure. Well, I don't know what's happening with the light here. It's switching on and off by itself.
The dog barks, the light goes on and off, 2020.
Yeah, it's happening. Well, peer-to-peer method is a specialized grading technique in which not only myself as an instructor in the classroom is grading the papers of the students, but students are also required to grade each other. And this is a very interesting exercise, because if you're grading a paper, you need to understand what is done correctly in the paper and what is not. So you need to assess the strengths and the weaknesses of this paper. And that actually helps students to improve their own writing, because when you look at somebody else's paper, let's say the paper is better than what you can do, so you learn from a good example. If the paper is worse than what you do, then you also help the other student learn from what you know. So you can say, this content could be improved through this and this, or the APA references or in-text citations could be improved. And so students help each other grow and help each other learn. And I think this is very useful for them, and it gives them a bit more responsibility in the classroom, because basically each student is responsible for the grade of everyone else in the classroom, and that also motivates them to participate on a weekly basis and to do all the assignments and to be there and to respond and to assess. And so it makes the process of learning very interactive. And in my opinion, it is a very good strategy that we have at the University of the People, which really encourages students to be proactive and to be there and to watch what's happening in the classroom. Sometimes it happens that in the peer process, students will write to me asking whether they are assessing it correctly or not, or if they received an assessment which they think is not justified. So I am still in the process, so I'm there with them. It's just I'm allowing them to experience what being a teacher is in the classroom, and to try and wear a hat of both a student and the instructor in the classroom, which I think is great. It's a good learning experience for them as well.
Yeah, I love that. And what's it like teaching with no live events? I mean, everything is online. It's not like it's not interactive in terms of like video. So how does that work for you?
For me, it works very well, and I understand that the live modules would not be possible because we are all in so many different time zones and locations. It would be virtually impossible to get all the students to be there at once. I think that the asynchronous format of education that we have actually works very well, because many students are also working adults, so they have jobs, they have families. So the idea is that you're able to complete your assignments in the time which is convenient for you. And the part where we are interacting in the classroom, the discussion forum, it is open for a week. So students post their answers to the discussion, and then they are required to respond to at least 3 of their classmates and provide substantial feedback and, to encourage the discussion in the classroom. And that works fine because everyone participates at the time which is convenient. So we don't all have to be online at the same time. So I come into the classroom every day or several times a day, and I see what new has been posted, and I respond, and I talk to the students. And very often students send me questions through Moodle, through our online platform, and then they get my response whenever I'm back in the classroom. So it all works very well. In general, I think that if you designate certain times when you are checking in the classroom, and that I believe should be frequent, should be, desirably every day of the week, not just on the days when assignments are due. At least I encourage my students to come in more regularly, to see what's happening, to interact a bit more. It works very well. I think it's a comfortable and respectful way to allow everybody to do their work at the time when they can.
Okay, great. Thank you for, you speak so, you give so much information, and it's all quality information. Speaking of quality, how do you ensure that our students receive quality support? Because I know that's very important. At UoPeople, we really pride ourselves for giving individualized attention, keeping the courses small with 30 people. I mean, I think that's small, but I'm not in this world. But so how do you ensure that students do receive quality support from you?
I think it's important for the students to feel that if they communicate with an instructor, they receive an answer, right? So they are not sending a message out and then waiting for days and days for an instructor to respond. So I believe that the communication has to be very frequent. So that's okay. He's trying to tell us something. Maybe he wants to join as a student too.
He just wants to be involved.
I know, that's wonderful. So I think that it's important for students to receive feedback as soon as possible. And that's why I try to be there in the classroom several times a day, logging in to see if there are messages from me. So if I get a message from a student, I try to respond right away, because most of the times the students will ask what they should do in a certain assignment if something is not clear for them. And so I try not to make them wait because I know that they're working on their assignment. They want my feedback as soon as possible. Or, for example, a student will ask a question about how he should grade his peer, or whether the requirements of the assignment are this and that, or if he or she didn't understand something in the textbook or in the reading material. So, we really need to be there to provide answers as soon as we can, because every week is several assignments, and so we don't want to delay our students from working on their assignments. So I take it very serious to give them my responses as quickly as possible. There are often times when students face difficulties, life difficulties, illness, different extended job requirements that prevent them from working on their assignments. I've faced issues with students where they had, their internet was down and they couldn't submit the assignment on time, or the weather conditions were bad and I don't know, there was problems with connectivity. So, we are all living in this world together, and we need to understand that sometimes there are force majeure circumstances preventing a student from working on their assignment. So, then the student will find a way to communicate with me and to say, this and this is happening. I don't know what to do this week. And okay, as an instructor, I have a little bit of flexibility to give an extension on a certain assignment, or to guide the student to the right technical support, or, to help them out, because we all understand if a student is out there and the circumstances are adverse, we need to understand what's happening and to try and help them.
Okay, amazing. And the new term is starting tomorrow. I forgot to wish everyone good luck at the beginning. I apologize. Good luck, everybody. So there are a lot of new students who are starting. There's also, I'm sure, maybe prospective students who are watching this live event. What sort of advice do you have for those types of students or applicants who are starting to study online for the first time?
Well, first of all, yes, a warm welcome to everyone who's starting tomorrow. And I'm sure this is going to be a very interesting experience. And every new term is so exciting, because we get to meet new students, and I'm already excited about who's going to be in my classroom tomorrow. But to all those who are thinking of joining, I would say don't hesitate for a minute. Do that and start changing your life tomorrow, because education is one thing that no one can ever take away from you. You can lose a job, you can be in adverse circumstances, but your education is your insurance policy to protecting you from a lot of hardship and giving you a ticket to life. So I believe we have to be learning all of our life. Yeah, learning never stops. We have to develop ourselves, and we have to continue improving ourselves and building our knowledge, and building, all those blocks that make us interesting people, interesting individuals. And, signing up for a degree program is the best way to be active in this, and to do something for yourself. So I believe that if someone is still thinking about joining UoP, no thinking, just do that. I'm sure there is a lot of degrees to choose from, and all the knowledge is out there.
Okay, very well said. Well, this was an amazing interview. I don't want to take too much of your time. I know it's the end of your day over there. So, Dr. Semenova, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Very glad to have been here with you, Jessica. Thank you for an interesting interview and such interesting questions. And good luck to all of our students with the next term. And welcome to all the prospective students to join us.
Yeah, thank you so much. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Special thanks to Dr. Semenova, of course. And tomorrow I'm interviewing President Shaireshev. He wants to welcome you guys all to the new term. So don't forget to tune into that. It will be very interesting. It always is. He's a very interesting man, a great leader, very inspirational. Always has very motivational things to say, and so I recommend everyone check that out. That will be at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on Facebook and YouTube. And if anyone has any questions, please feel free to, leave a message in the comments. You can email your advisor. You can email admissions@uopeople.edu. You can DM us on social media. And that's all I got. So thank you so much, Dr. Semenova. Have a great night.
Too.
And
Thank you so much.
Has a great day and good luck tomorrow. All right. We'll see you later. Bye.
Thank you, Jessica. Pleasure to be with you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.